So, hello everyone. We are recapping now after Thursday night here. So, the Redskins fall to 1-7 after losing tonight 19-9. 10-point win for Minnesota at home on Thursday. And Keenum, 12 of 16 for 130, 8.1 average, no touch, no pick. Sacked two times, 98.4 rating. At halftime, never came back because of concussion. So we got some Dwayne Haskins tonight, and he did not look very good. He threw he completed three passes on five attempts for 33 yards, 6.6 average, no touchdowns, one interception, which bailed out a Zimmer decision. Uh, Also sacked twice and had a quarterback rating of 40.0. So in total, it was 15 of 21 for the two quarterbacks. And when you put in sack yards, it's 131 yards of passing yards, 7.8 average, no touches, the one pick, and a combined rating of 74.1. Now, on the ground, they had a little bit more success. Adrian carried 14 times for 76 yards, 5.4 average, no touchdowns. He had a long of 29, though. Wendell Smallwood, he carried it twice for 9 yards for 4.5 yards a carry. So 16 carries for 85 yards, 5.3 yards a carry. Receiving, Terry McLaurin was our best receiver again this year. He caught 4 of 6 targets for 39 yards. Paul Richardson, 304 for 34. Adrian is actually third on this list with 2 of 2 here for 27. Trey Quinn caught 1 of 3 targets for 15. And there's a whole lot of nothing really after that. So they were 2 for 7 on third down. So percentage-wise, that's 28%. 0 of 2 in the red zone and -1 turnover margin. They had 46 penalty yards on 4 penalties and held the ball for 23 minutes and 24 seconds. Minnesota, after going to 6-2 here, Cousins 23 of 26 for 285 and 11.0 average. Didn't throw a score, didn't throw any interceptions either. Was sacked 3 times today and had a rating of 112.3. Dalvin Cook carried 23 times, just missed 100 yards with 98 yards, 4.3 average, and a 1 score. Alexander Madison had 13 carries for 61 yards, 4.7 average, and he had some runs late called back that were pretty ridiculous. At least one of them was. Cousins, two carries for 2 yards. So in total, 38 carries to 161 yards and a 4.2 average, and the 1 score from Dalvin Cook. Stephon Diggs led them in receiving, catching all 7 of his targets today for 143 yards and averaged 20.4 yards a catch. Dalvin Cook, 5 of 6 for 73 yards, and then it jumps way down. Olabisi Johnson caught both of his targets for 27 yards. Irv Smith caught all 3 of his for 21. Kyle Rudolph, all 3 of his as well for 17. Alexander Madison caught both of his for 3, and Treadwell 1 for 1. And only got 1 yard because Laquan Treadwell. And they were 8 of 15 on third down. So percentage, 53. 1 of 4 in the red zone, so a whopping 25% there. They didn't get a fourth down, even though they went for it twice, even though they really only went for it once. I don't know why they I guess it was one of those run up the score things. You don't want to do it, but at the end there. They're +1 in the turnover margin and held the ball for 36 minutes and 36 seconds, which is a tad bit ridiculous. So, thoughts? I thought the play calling was worse than the last 3 weeks, that's for sure. It felt super conservative. Now, I don't know how much of that is Thielen related. Are they not willing to take these shots when Thielen's on the field? I mean, not on the field. I don't know. I kind of hope we don't have to find out. But if he's not ready for Kansas City, that would not be good if that's the case, because then Kansas City can get some big plays. But given the play calling, I think Cousins actually played extremely well given what he had to work with. There was like a ton of screens. It was really conservative. Everything was that way. And keep in mind, 2 of his 3 incompletions were throwaways, and the one real incompletion was a dropped pass by Dalvin Cook. So I'm not really going to blame him. Diggs has a fumbling problem that I feel like we need to address. This was his 4th one this year, and I don't think he fumbled really that much beforehand. I think he's only fumbled once before this season. Now he's got 4 this season alone. We need to fix that. I don't know how, but he needs to start holding that thing a little bit more carefully. The offensive line, I don't think had a great game today. I don't think anyone's going to say that they did, but I do think this might point out a issue with this zone blocking scheme and Kubiak and all these athletic smaller linemen. If you look at the size of that defensive line, you have Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne, Ioannidis. All of them are huge dudes. They are hard to move. So we kind of saw some of the drawbacks from this kind of offense, which is if you go up against one of these bigger defensive lines, you're going to start to see them struggle a whole lot. And we had some holds, elf line. Dalvin, I still think was really, really good, but really versatile. Things like that. You need to fix the red zone problems badly because if you play a better team, you probably lose this game just because you're 1 of 4 in the red zone. And they got really lucky with that pick. And, when Dwayne Haskins came in, and threw it to him right after the 4th down conversion or lack of 4th down conversion, we tried to quarterback sneak it and didn't get it. Defensively, Rhodes was getting abused in this game before he went out, and it got a lot better when he came out. I think they need to fix the running game. I think they kind of had a lot of success there that they need to shore up. AP went for 5.4 yards a carry, and they're kind of lucky they threw more because they were kind of grinding it there. And I don't think there was much to complain about the defense once Xavier Rhodes left the game. It kind of felt like they could do whatever they want in the passing game as long as it's just find 29, throw it. And that was a big problem, which is really unfortunate because I actually made a video on him today. I was talking about maybe phasing him out. They might have to go to straight up benching if this is going to become a real norm with him. So outside of that, outside of the running game, I don't think I have too much to complain about. When it comes to the defense itself, once Rhodes left the game, I feel like they played extremely well and how I expected them, closer to how I expected them to play this game when he came out, because they were actually converting 3rd down conversions, driving, things like that. It helped that they had Dwayne Haskins come in and he didn't play well at all. So in the second half, that really helped. Special teams, I feel like we didn't punt this game, which is kind of amazing, but I feel like we do need to talk about Dan Bailey, and not in a bad way. He went 4 for 4 for his field goals. He made his 1 extra point, so good job, Dan. Always good to point out the kicker when he doesn't mess up, which is kind of nice in Minnesota. So I think we're really, really lucky that the Redskins are not very good this year, because you cannot go 1 of 4 in the red zone against really good teams and actually expect to win the game. That's not something you can just do. And I don't know how much Thielen being out had an effect on both that and the play calling. The play calling itself seemed a little weird to me because they were having so much success on those boots. It felt like they kind of no, we're going to ease on those bootlegs. And all of a sudden when they did straight dropbacks, still with the play action, but more of a straight dropback, their defensive line was just bigger than our guys up front. So you kind of saw, guys like Elfline just getting pushed back for sacks a lot of these times. And it just, maybe they didn't call it super conservative and it just appeared that way because Thielen wasn't there. Maybe they could just roll all the coverage and then the other guys just weren't good enough to uncover. But it's a little unfortunate we didn't see them adapt a little better without Adam Thielen, knowing that they were probably not going to have him. And even if they could have him, the fact that they were probably not going to play him regardless just because they didn't want to push him on a short week. A little disappointing to see him not adjust accordingly for that. But at the end of the day, this team is now 6-2 with a 10-day window to kind of prepare for Kansas City, get a little bit more healthy with Adam Thielen, things like that. And the good news of things is they are winning in different ways. Last week we saw them win in kind of a shootout kind of way. Today it was more ugly, a little bit more not many points at a premium. We're just going to win with good defense and a running game, really, even though Kirk actually played extremely well today. Just kind of called it more conservative along those lines. But it's kind of nice to see them winning in different ways. And I'd like to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Liking, subscribing always helps. And until next time, I bid you all adieu.